Welcome here to Day 2 prelims competition of Matty Marshall alongside Mike Jeffrey. First event of the year, and we saw some very close battles yesterday. Not too many blowouts, a ton of overtimes. The parity still here in professional paintball as the top 20 teams throwing down here on center court. About to jump into this first one here. First set of the day is going to be Uprising taking on Leverage and Arsenal taking on New York Xtreme. Well, looks like we got a little bit of a technical timeout to start things out here today.
I think they got a ref who's late to the field maybe coming out here, but they're all looking at the sidelines.
So, yeah, they're going to throw 30 seconds back there. Now, going to see a Leverage here. Going 2 yesterday to Leverage, but they did drag Aftershock into an overtime battle. Aftershock prevailed there.
Yeah,
but so that Mike, they're sitting at 0-2.
Yeah, that major penalty on Travis Baskin in the overtime point. Leverage was moments away from hitting the buzzer. Really tough way to lose, but they got Chris Caputo back out here today. Don't think he's going to start, but full strength almost for Leverage out here against Uprising, sitting at 1-1 is Uprising.
Yeah, they're at 1-1. I'm really looking forward to seeing both these two teams play for different reasons. Uprising been around for a long time, but man, I really love this new roster. They are going to be dropping a body here early, trying to scurry out to that back bunker on the snake side, and it looks like the ref's checking out player for Leverage as he took a ton of ground, D2 off the break. So 5-on-4 situation here in favor of Leverage from the blue side to start out our morning battles.
Yeah, Baskin getting quickly into the Dorito 3. He's going to be supported by Alfred De Los Santos over there for Leverage with the body advantage and positional advantage out here. Uprising is in the second Dorito on that side, so they have something going over there. Mark Mieterman played great yesterday. He's trying to find his way into the snake right now for Uprising. Looking at Baskin trying to find his way forward into the 50 structure. On the wrap there, that's a strong spot. It's tough for the back center player to live for Uprising with Baskin there.
Yeah, so Mike, yesterday we saw a ton of high body situations squandered out here. Wondering if that trend is going to continue today, but Uprising has a bunch of gritty guys that like to dig into their spots and win gunfights. So that's what they're doing right now, playing tight in their positions. They improved a little bit on the real estate on that D side as they're now in D1 and in D2.
Ricky Moran getting into the snake for Leverage, though. He's got no one in front of him for now. Mark Mieterman, though, answers. Soon as the pressure came off in front of him, Mieterman gets in there. So got a good snake battle over here. Moran does have, I believe that's DeVivo, protecting him from the Hertz tower. Mieterman is going to have a tough time going past that snake, too. The way Leverage is set up, they got a nice tall player in that Hertz tower. Leverage developing really nicely. Alfred De Los Santos getting in the second Dorito to support Baskin on your screen in the Dorito 3 for Leverage.
Yeah, looking at our D side cam here. Now, Uprising again, they're on the red side. Leverage is on the blue side. But I like the composure we're seeing out of Leverage here in this high body moment. As you know, they've improved their positions. They got Moran in a really good spot over here. Snake 3, D2 as well, still, or D3. Good crossfield spread.
Yeah, I think this is the, oh, and they kill another. They kill the Uprising player out of Dorito 3, so now 5-on-3 advantage for Leverage. They have the spots. They've developed nicely. 2-body advantage in a slow-ish point. They're 2-on-1 on this snake side. If they can get Mieterman off the field, they're going to win the point.
Ooh, Mark pops the top, almost shoots the Hertz tower, and then
Moran's hunting for him on the snake side.
Yeah, he's at the 50-yard line right now. Mark zoned up here against Moran.
The Dorito 1 player for Uprising is ripping the bounce shot. Baskins launches and gets the Dorito 2, so just 2 bodies left alive for Uprising. Alfred De Los Santos retaking the real estate. Moran and Mieterman battling on the wire over here.
Alec Holland's going to get clipped out trying to gunfight his way into D3. It leaves just Mark, and then he's going to get pinched as well, too. That's a really solid first point here for Leverage.
Awesome.
Right out the gate, they shoot that early body. They play smart, control, paintball, occurring a little bit of risk to get into those crucial spots upfield. But just real smart, man. Didn't really see any mistakes on Leverage here in point number 1, take the early lead.
Yeah, wonderful job. Composed, developing nicely. Baskin pushing the issue to get a body off the field. 4-on-2, that's a great situation. That was DeVivo in the Hertz tower. You look at Chris Fermo, coach of Leverage. He's been around a long time, played on Long Island Fight Team back in the day. He's known these guys a long time, played for Leverage in the lower divisions. Picked up the clipboard now.
Also thought I got to look at a little Chris Caputo down there in the pits, as he will be an option. Also wondering, when you get arguably one of your best players, or unarguably one of your best players to come in, but he didn't play day one.
Yeah.
It's like, do we spin him right away? Do we go with our starting line?
I like the move of having him watch one first. Now we're looking at Arsenal and NYX. Arsenal 0-2 yesterday. Squandered a lead against Dynasty, but they're going to be 5-on-4 off the break, at least for now. Ref checking. Kyle Bone, they kill another quick 5-on-3 for Arsenal. Developing nicely. Benny Carroll playing the Hertz Tower so far this morning.
Well, when Xtreme was playing well yesterday, they were attacking that middle, and they just had issues with survivability, issues with some penalties. But this is a big moment for both these squads. Must-win situation already, sitting at 0-2. Arsenal with some good looks on that D side. They're already at the 50-yard line, feeling very little pressure, too, wrapping all the way towards that inside. They have penetration up the middle as well, and then now really pushing the issue here with O'Mara in the snake.
Yeah, O'Mara is not being pressured at all on the snake side. Kyle Bowen is in the 50 structure for Arsenal, backing up, looking for a shot on Nico Acevedo. He's going to connect. Nice job by Kyle Bowen to find his kill and connect on it. They kill Harris. It's going to be 5 alive probably for Arsenal in this first point. Really great point by Arsenal. Love the adjustment by Chris Jansen to have Benny go up to the Hertz Tower. They had Elliott stay in the back center. He struggled a bit yesterday. Kyle Bowen came on as their first attacker on the Dorito side. Great first point by him, getting up the field.
Yeah, they did work early, didn't squander the advantage. So even though we're only a couple points in, the trend is going high bodies capitalizing out here right now.
Sure is, and that's going to be the difference between teams that their tournament ends today and continues tomorrow, converting high bodies.
Yeah, mistakes are going to happen. It's how do you respond to them? And then when you put yourself, when you've already done work and you have shot a couple bodies, can you convert those high body situations? You were talking yesterday how fit in the prelims at World Cup, one of the reasons they were so masterful was that they were converting 90% of their high body situations.
Yep, and damage at Chicago, 89% across the tournament. Yeah, if you're looking for the answers out here, you can tell yourself a story about refs and breakouts and all these things. It's when you get advantages, you got to capitalize. Arsenal in these red and black jerseys, pretty sure Opie Logren designed those. Pretty fresh.
Yeah, I do. I like the look for Arsenal this year. I really like the roster,
yeah.
Like the pickups Tom Ford made in the offseason, the guys he retained, bringing in Chris Jansen to coach. I like the name change.
Yep.
Used to be Revo for years, but we would still, even though they'd been around for a decade, people would still say Revo quite a bit. So Arsenal's just a real solid paintball name.
For sure. No Caputo out there again. I don't blame Leverage for spinning that 5 after putting up a masterful first point against Uprising. 1-0 lead here for the rookie pro team. It's De Los Santos, Moran, Baskin, DeVivo.
So on the breakout right now, both teams heavier guns up for Leverage. Does it produce a kill? Looks like Uprising really only had 2, and it does. First attacker here on the snake side taking the walk for Uprising as they dive a body out into D2 clean. So another 4-on-5 situation here, another high body moment for Leverage.
Alfred De Los Santos getting out wide on the Dorito side. Uprising going to match it. Alfred quick into the Dorito 2, but Leverage is going to lose to Vivo out of the Hertz Tower, so I believe it's a 4-on-3 advantage now for Leverage. Baskin coming up the snake side. He's playing the attacker on both sides of the field for Leverage. Just ran to the Dorito 2 off the break for them. Now he's on the outside snake 1. Coming forward. He has no one in front of him. I think it's just 2 bodies left alive in the Dorito 1 and Dorito 2 for Uprising. Lost one off the break, and then I think I lost a couple out of their spots. Ooh.
Gonna be losing another one. They did not miss that crossfield shot.
Yeah, just 1 body left alive.
A little of that northeast chirping going on right now.
We love that. That's that tri-state area. See you later, buddy. Leverage up 2-0 out here.
Look, it's Leverage. They series champions last year, earned the right to play here in this pro league. Had a terrible look against Infamous in their first game. Great look against Shock. In a loss, though, unfortunately for them. But, you know, bringing a team like Aftershock that made it to the finals last year, legendary name, bunch of all-stars on that squad. Good look for them there. Now, up by 2. Uprising, no slouches.
No slouches.
This is a team. I talked to Alec Holland. You know, shout out to him. He won the $5,000 courtesy of Pate Smith Law from World Cup. But he's like, what do you think? So I kind of was discussing where I thought his team was. But honestly, I think that roster can contend. based on how well they played towards the end of last season. Getting Mark to rise up in the snake with the veterans they've had for years that are very solid, and then Alec himself, becoming kind of the Marcelo Morgado of Uprising. So the fact that Leverage is up 2 here, they're off. The break shots are dialed. They're looking good. Jumping back in this next one, these teams switching sides. Looks like might be seeing collision. As did Josh Taylor go heads up with the referee?
Yeah.
I think that's Taylor.
Yeah, it is.
And Taylor cannot catch a break. He spent the beginning part of the early of 2024 with a broken hand. Looks like he's okay, shakes it off.
5-on-2 situation now for Arsenal. NYX caught a minor off the break. Arsenal shot the short shot on the insert bunker there. Now just looking at,
quick concession here from New York Xtreme as a shattered play on that one. As they lose that first body as the ref goes into pole. Taylor goes to fill, collides with the referee, falls to the ground.
Yeah, hope he's okay. Josh Taylor dealt with some injuries last year. Looked like he was all right. Maybe just got rattled for a second, but Arsenal dominant. Haven't lost a body out here yet. Great break shooting. Looking at Taylor. Looks like he's got a little bit of a limp going out here. Hope he's okay. Great guy, Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
He's asking for his pack wiped, so that makes me think that he's coming right back out there. If he was done, I think he'd take that pack right off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine, he says to Harris.
That was an emphatic, I'm fine.
Yeah. 2-0 advantage, but Leverage going to lose their first body off the snake side. That's Ricky Moran taking the walk. Uprising with 5 alive, developing outside. Now they kill DeVivo out of the tower, so in the driver's seat is Uprising. Lose 1, but Caputo dies.
Yeah, it looks like Mark's going to be taking the walk for Uprising, though, as 2 bodies have taken the walk for Uprising. 3-on-2 situation here in favor of Uprising, but they have a good crossfield spread. There goes another kill out of that back center. Leaves just D1 out here for Leverage.
Yeah, just Alfred De Los Santos here in a 1-on-3. If he can get a kill here, he can make it interesting with a 2-0 lead. Got to try to make it hard for Uprising. You're not going to towel it here, but they're going to get Alfred. Does Schroeder sprinting in to cut the lead in half for Uprising. In soccer, they call the 2-0 lead the most dangerous lead in sports because it lulls you into a sense of security when really you're not far ahead. I think we see a bit of that in paintball with these 2-0 and 3-0 leads.
Yeah, I think that is a little bit of a seductive lead.
Yeah.
However, we do score a lot more points.
For sure.
Than soccer, but the principle remains the same. Especially when you're young, too. If you're a young, up-and-coming team and you go up 2, you're starting to feel pretty good about yourselves, particularly if it's a seasoned squad you're playing against. You can't get complacent out there sitting on a 2-point lead with a lot of time left.
And you're going to run into some slouches in semi-pro, right, that you crush. You go up 2-0, and then when you win 5-0, not going to happen up here. They're going to make an adjustment. It's all dogs on the other side of the field. Nothing comes easy out here.
You said we had Joey Blute up here yesterday. We're going to have him up here today again, as always. But, Joey said something that's pretty true. He's like, if you're playing on a pro paintball team, you probably have some alpha in your personality.
Yep.
So
Arsenal also up 2-0 here. They're running Kyle Bowen out to the Dorito 1. NYX stays short, heavy guns. Kyle Bowen alive, so 5-on-5 breakout here. First time NYX has survived the breakout. Let's see if they can capitalize on it. Kyle Bowen playing freely from that Dorito 1. They got Benny Carroll up in the center wedge. Does Arsenal. Elliot Weaver and Cody Mikowski in the back center. Kyle Bowen wheeling and dealing. Did he catch Harris on his way up?
Yeah, Harris trying to make something happen up the middle. Looks like he was able to dodge Xtreme and get in there alive to try to do battle with Benny Carroll, who's already up there. We're getting a look on your screen there. Arsenal's D-side line over the shoulder of Taylor in the back center here for New York Xtreme.
So Benny switched and then caught Nico Acevedo on the move, I believe. So 5-on-4 advantage for Arsenal. Josh Taylor right back out there after having a digger with the ref from the last one. Ref coming in to check Harris Hussein in that center wedge. I thought Kyle Bowen might have shot him, but
ref called him clean.
Yep. Sometimes things disappear.
Good communication from both squads. Arsenal sitting on this 2-point lead. Body language kind of telling me they just want to post up and shoot some lanes, at least initially, to start out with here and see if they can get Xtreme to run into some guns.
Yeah, and with Harris in that center wedge, Kyle Bowen can't really come forward freely on the Dorito side. He's battling Harris on the inside of that bunker. Now Josh Taylor filling out to the corner. He gets shot, so 5-on-3 advantage now for Arsenal. Stephen O'Mara is going to get going now.
Well, yeah, that's what Arsenal was basically waiting for, right? They were putting a lot of pressure downfield. They're in some relatively safe spots, not engaging in 50-50 reckless gunfights, just blocking lanes down. They catch Taylor. Now O'Mara launches. Looks like they might be losing Mikowski. Mikowski catching a hard bouncer as Xtreme trying to push up on that D side.
Arsenal owns the snake side. If Stephen O'Mara can shoot this Hertz tower, it's going to be all over for NYX. Harris, it's going to get really tight in there for him. Fills over, does that Hennessy? 47 for NYX, asking for a check as he filtered over from the Hertz tower into the snake. The problem with that is now O'Mara has nothing stopping him from going forward. He's hunting for Harris's pack. Clean in the snake one is NYX, but O'Mara unchallenged over here. Harris is going to have a really tough time living in that center wedge with Arsenal pushing the issue on both sides now.
Yeah, so it's Peterson here in snake 2.
O'Mara might take off and run here.
That's who O'Mara's worried about. Peterson's in front of him, just a little off camera. And then here's a look over the shoulder. Mikowski trying to help out O'Mara. Mikowski trying to put it together here.
And Hennessy's in the 50 Dorito for NYX, and I don't think Arsenal knows it.
Well, they still have 5 bodies alive.
Yeah, 5-on-3. Kyle Bowen dies, though, right as you say that. So 3-on-4. And I think Hennessy snuck undetected into the 50 Dorito structure. If Arsenal doesn't pick him up, this might change.
Peterson needs to stay alive here. Oh, so Peterson dying out of that snake 2 position. That's going to make life a lot easier here for Arsenal. Then they are able to pinch out with an increased angle on Harris Hussein, and that's going to leave just 1 body at that 50. So I like Hennessy's move. In that low body moment, everyone else needed to stay alive and let Hennessy go to work.
Yeah, it was tough. I didn't actually like the move over into the snake 1 for Peterson. If he went to that outside snake 1, I'd like it a little more because then he could contend with O'Mara in front of him.
Well, I like Hennessy's move.
Yeah, yeah. No, Hennessy's move is good. Peterson's move over here, I think that's when things started to fall apart more for them in that low body situation. Cody Mikowski catching a bounce, fortunately for Arsenal, taking a 3-0 lead.
In the pits here with Arsenal.
And, you know, I'm sure in their meeting last night they talked about, we go up 3 points on Dynasty. We can't get loose. We can't take our foot off the gas. Now sitting up 3-0 on NYX, this is the learning moment.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, right? These teams have these really long meetings at night, and they discuss mistakes that were made. So I think the reason we're seeing Arsenal play a smarter brand of paintball than we saw yesterday is they're not trying to squander leads anymore like they did yesterday. Body coming off here for leverage from the red side, from that D side. As now high body moment here for Uprising 5-on-4. And they need it. Down by 1, 9:24. Still decent amount of time in this. Oh man, they get smoked though, trying to get into the snake. Got shot first step out. And this is, looks like they went with Jonah Rodriguez here instead of Mark for this one.
Yeah, that was DeVivo from the back center, I believe, or Caputo on the insert for leverage. 4-on-4 advantage. Uprising, that was the first breakout they won, and they immediately squander the advantage, so even bodies out here. Uprising shooting inside from the insert. That's Travis Baskin over there. He's been really quick. Great survivability on deep runs off the break for Travis Baskin for leverage. He caught that major against Aftershock in overtime, but otherwise has been playing great. He was a standout at their practice last weekend at Quick Shot, playing the 1 on both sides of the field. That's tough to do. 2 bodies on the Dorito side for Uprising in a 4-on-4 point. 8 minutes, 25 seconds left, and Uprising down 1. Big point here. No team with a dramatic positional advantage. Neither team in the snake right now. Baskin with 2 bodies in front of him. Neither player can see each other on the wire unless they step way out wide. I believe that's Ricky Moran getting into the Dorito behind Baskin just off camera. So 2 bodies for each team on the Dorito side.
Referee coming to check out Caputo, and he's going to be taking the walk. So minor penalty assessed here on Chris Caputo. Pulls out the back center, and that decimates the line for leverage here on the snake side of the field. See if Uprising can figure out this new body count quickly and tie this game up.
Yeah, Uprising knows the kill count. They're calling 200 kill 3 now. Is that Alec Holland here coming down on the snake side uncontested. He's got no one in front of him, no one who can stop him. He can crawl all the way down and kill these last 2 bodies for leverage. Tie it up for Uprising. Still got to close it. Nothing's automatic out here. Everyone's got a good shot in the pro division. But with just 2 bodies left alive on the Dorito side, it's a tough ask for leverage. Just Baskin left.
And he's going to get stitched up in the ribs here by Borromeo, as Borromeo going to jog in to hit the buzzer. Get a little bit of a gift out here. That penalty on, I believe, Chris Caputo.
Yep.
Penalty flags were flying yesterday. We'll see if today is as penalty-ridden as yesterday was. Probably will be.
Yeah. They're pretty consistent out here, the refs. I think they do a good job. Uprising, erasing that 2-0 deficit. Tyler Michaud, paintball legend. Been around forever. Took a break, came back. Now coaching Uprising.
Well, it's now a tie ball game here. Initially, first 2 points, leverage. 2-point run now for Uprising to tie it up. We saw this with Dynasty yesterday. I talked to some of the Dynasty guys this morning. Really good come-from-behind victory for them in set number 1 against Arsenal. Gives the team a ton of confidence moving on in the tournament.
Yeah.
It's tough to deal with when you're there in the moment, facing that adversity. But when you overcome, when you face the adversity and fight the adversity and you overcome it, man, that really gives you a much better chance to win the tournament.
Yeah, you got to embrace the challenges out here. Arsenal now, their challenge, maintaining this 3-0 lead after blowing a big lead against Dynasty yesterday. They are going to lose Benny Carroll to the Hertz Tower off the break. I believe Nico Acevedo running and shooting to the Snake corner caught him. 5-on-4 advantage for NYX, but they lose Harris Hussein out of the center, so 4-on-4. NYX with a slight positional advantage. Now Nico Acevedo getting in the Snake. Peterson moving forward into that Snake side 50 wedge structure. That's going to make it really tough for Omar to get out wide on the Snake side.
Yeah, Taylor's coming to back him up. Looks like he wants to move up into the center structure with him. He's going to go to that 40-yard line. Peterson at the 50 and wrapping around. And he's going to get that kill. It's tough to, doubling up the back center is very effective, but you have to be very careful if you're there for more than 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, the problem with that breakout was Benny Carroll got shot going to the Hertz Tower off the break, and NYX made it wide when you're 2 in the back center. Ooh, Nico getting caught down the wire by Omara, though. I believe that makes it a 3-on-2. It's just Elliott Weaver and Omara left for Arsenal. At least 2 bodies left for NYX.
Running referee coming in, though, to give out Taylor a check.
Man, Omara killing Acevedo, though, really changes the dynamic of this point with a 3-point lead already.
Yeah, it just gives Omara a lot of breathing room. They don't have to worry about anyone in the Snake. So much more freedom for Weaver in the back center, for Omara here, and outside Snake 1. The power for New York Xtreme pushing that middle. They've been playing really well when they attack the middle.
2-on-2, I think, right now. Everyone went to sleep on the Dorito side. Ellie Weaver's going to get shot in the pack here.
Well, I think Hennessy's still alive on the D side.
Yeah. They definitely have Hennessy over there. He's in the Arsenal's Dorito 3. Now coming forward to their Dorito 2.
Yeah.
Arsenal just stopped looking at the Dorito side player. 3-on-2 advantage for NYX.
Ooh, maybe not for long, though. The referee checking him out. Here comes Omara pushing up on the Snake side as Weaver dies from the middle. So Omara turning the field as does the body drop in the middle? It does. Peterson taking the walk. It might be a one-on-one situation with Hennessy and Omara.
Yeah. One on.
Chaos set in here in the scramble. That's what we call it, the scramble. There's no more game plan anymore. All the variables get scrambled up.
And Omara's elite in the scramble. He'll come forward right there, recognizes he's got a lead, and it's a low body situation. Why not send it, catch him sleeping? He does. Hennessy's got to look into the sun now. Stephen Omara recognizes he has a 3-point lead. He's just got to protect the buzzer here.
Yeah, anytime you're in a one-on-one and you have a pretty big lead to protect, it gives you an advantage. Oh, but he lost him.
Oh, it's actually a 2-on-1. Josh Taylor is alive.
So Taylor's still alive?
Yeah. It's a 2-on-1. Omara's in the 50 Snake. Josh Taylor does a good retreat to his Dorito side tower. Hennessy is in Omara's Dorito side.
Taylor putting a lot of pressure here on Omara as Hennessy's going to get caught, though. So beautiful job by Stephen Omara. Head on a swivel. As now officially a one-on-one. Taylor for New York Xtreme, Omara for Arsenal.
Man, Omara's feeling it. He's saying, get him out, baby. Trying to turn this 1-on-3 into another point for Arsenal. Josh Taylor.
With 7 minutes on this clock, if Taylor can find a way to win this here, that's just absolutely huge. Totally changes the game.
Yeah.
And if Omara would put the coffin nail down pretty quickly here. Ooh. And he does. Omara pouring off a 1-on-2, our second 1-on-2. We've seen out here Marcelo Margot pull one off for Impact yesterday. And Stephen Omara, the hero yet again.
He's saying, he's yelling to the pit, hit the buzzer. That's our point. Steven O'Mara, savagery out here. Steven the Finger O'Mara in a 1-on-3. NYX thinking they're going to cut into the lead. Not with Steven on the field. Yells into their pit, hit that buzzer. That's my point. I just ate your team for breakfast. Oh, my goodness. Dang. Good to have him back in a Baltimore jersey if you're Tom Four, Opie Lager, and Kish Jansen.
In the pits right now with a frustrated New York Xtreme. Let's see if we can listen in.
I stepped out and shot the command center. That's kill 2.
No, the command center was first and then Holmes.
Yeah, well,
and I don't know who shot him, but he got shot.
You shot the back center when
that
you
did
ran.
not just happen.
And then you shot. Oh, it wasn't the command center? No. You shot the back center.
They sound bummed out, Matty.
Hey, your guns are there. Never let off.
Well, there's still 7 minutes left. They're down 4. They need the margin. They need a win. Jumping back in this next one here with Leverage getting shot out, trying to get into the snake off the brakes. That's a great kill here for Uprising in this tie game with... Oh, man, this is a bomb blowing off here for Leverage as they lose 3 bodies. That's going to be the quickest concession we've seen with no penalties all tournament long.
Yeah, Uprising made the adjustment after falling down 0-2 to score 3 unanswered right now. They're winning the breaks. Leverage going to have to find the answer. Adjustment, counter adjustment, counter adjustment is the name of the game out here.
Well, and so much of this is mental. Yes, you do need to do the X's and O's and talk about the different variables and have those specific conversations, but ultimately you cannot let the confidence and the wind come out of your sails here. Starting to see some slow walks off for both Xtreme and Leverage here. Leverage still locked in a tight match.
Yeah,
only down 1.
Down
yes, 3 unanswered for Uprising, but they need to go in that pit, and whoever's the emotional leader on there needs to look everyone in the eyes and say, hey, this is still our game. Let's go.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, if you're Arsenal, again, cannot come off the gas here. 4-point lead. Want to keep it going. Yesterday, their issue with Dynasty was they thought they had the game in the bag, and it wasn't.
Yeah, game's never in the bag until you have the higher score at the end of regulation. Doubling up that Kurtz tower, and liking to see that game plan just because of those potent angles from that position as long as one guy gets up into that 50 pretty quick. That's exactly what's going to happen. Omar's going to launch to the 40, and they're going to glide a body out with Bowen into that D2 position.
I love the way they're playing right now. Arsenal developing forward with a 4-point lead. Kyle Bowen alive in the Dorito 2. Arsenal has the spots and 5 bodies alive. It's going to be difficult for NYX to generate offense the way Arsenal has developed forward over here. Benny Carroll coming through the middle. Lives.
Yeah, but they lose O'Mara. Referee checking out one of the bodies here for New York Xtreme in the D1 position. They get out of that back center.
Running referee coming around to check Kyle Bowen over there. 5-on-4 advantage for NYX. Cody Mikowski coming forward, kills Peterson out of the middle. Really nice job by Cody. So 4-on-4 now. Arsenal forward. NYX is going to have to find a way to come forward with Arsenal already at the 50s.
Yeah, snake player extraordinaire, Cody Mikowski. Notice we haven't really seen ABJ out here at all, and they're up by 4, and he's still not getting a spin.
Yeah, they like the O'Mara, Benny Carroll, and Cody Mikowski combo over here. Cody Mikowski, really smart player, and not afraid to get after it on the snake side.
Well, this is a crafty snake, not a power snake. It requires a crafty player. So we saw a lot of guys yesterday, some of our top tier ones in the snake have rough days. ABJ had a couple good ones, though. Oh, bodies coming off, 2 bodies flooding off the field from that D side here for New York Xtreme. So just 2 left alive out there for him right now, and it's just not looking good. Again here for New York Xtreme.
Yeah, Arsenal, barring something crazy, should be taking a 5-point lead here. Elliott knows exactly what the deal is. Yells over to Cody Mikowski. Boston God kill 3. They know where the NYX bodies are. They kill Harris, and now Benny's come hunting for Nico Acevedo. Arsenal going to take a commanding 5-0 lead.
Benny might have got team killed there in the end, but it doesn't matter. We don't count live bodies out here. Massive lead. They're not even concerned about the time. I think that was there a concession. The clock has stopped.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear a buzzer. The clock has stopped. It's sitting at 4:30 right now. Just a much better look here for Arsenal.
Yeah,
yesterday they had some close battles.
I mean, I like what Arsenal's done. They said this is going to be our starting 5. And we're going to roll with them. They're playing well. No reason to make a crazy adjustment. different sorts of game plans out of here, not just one look, but they're winning the breakouts, they're developing into the 50s, and then they're connecting on their shots, and then O'Mara pulls off the magic.
So they needed 2 wins today to stay in the hunt, right? But yesterday, because of their close losses, only were sitting at a -2. So now you get a big blowout win, put you in a really good position as long as you win that next game. Next game's still going to be, and it's against Ironman.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good one. That's going to be going down around 10:20 here. We're going to replay that finish here from Benny Carroll. And you see the frustration in the body language of Acevedo when he stepped out of that spot, because team's been not playing as well as they should here in game number 3 for him.
Tough day for NYX so far this morning.
Interesting. So I don't see a 3rd point on the board here for Uprising. Score still sits 2-2. Should be 3-2 Uprising unless something happened that we're not aware of.
Yeah, Uprising should be sitting up 1 here. I don't see here.
Yeah, here's some scoreboard glitching right now, so
yeah,
that could be why we don't see that score up yet.
The robot lady said something just now from the scoreboard.
Is that in check? Okay. Still no score up though.
Yeah, I'm certain it's 3-2 right now. I don't think there was a crazy major no point situation. Uprising running deep on the Dorito side. Leverage pocketed up. 5-on-5, it looks like Meterman going to dive across from the Hertz Tower. He gets shot. Ref running in to call him out.
Man, the snake player's out. It's a rough snake. Because the other body, Jonah, they putting out there, he got shot off break twice or died early twice, and then now Mark getting shot out. So when you play Uprising, you have to deal with Mark. And they're getting, again, Jonah in as well, too. Jonah Rodriguez.
So
our score is updated here. 6 minutes to go. 1 point lead for Uprising, but they're down a body.
Yeah, in those 3 unanswered points, Uprising won all the breakouts. Good job by Leverage here to survive the breakout. They get Baskin wheeling up the Dorito side, followed up by Afro de los Santos. I really like how that duo is playing over there. Baskin wants to take another bump forward. He does. He's in the Dorito 3 now. So a body advantage and nice development on the Dorito side attack for Leverage. Someone calling, we're all looking Dorito on Uprising. Need to switch guns. They switched 3 guns to the snake side now.
Yeah, sitting again on this baby 1 point lead, but down a body. Uprising in decent positions right now with 2 bodies on that super important D side, D1 and D2.
This is
see if Nate hangs out at this insert Aztec.
It's a really huge opportunity for Leverage right now. Down 1 with the body advantage as time is starting to tick down under 5 minutes. If you can tie it here, you're in great shape. If you go down 2, you're not going to have all day. DeVivo in the tower, making sure that Schroeder can't make it outside wide into the snake for Uprising. He's got Ricky Moran behind him, trying to make his way into the snake for Leverage. They sat Caputo on this one after he caught the minor. Caputo sat those first 2 points as well when Leverage won their points, so they go back to that starting 5 that played all day yesterday.
Well, Mike, what I like that I'm seeing out of Leverage, though, is that they're playing very composed right now. They have a 1-body advantage, and they're not just recklessly running into guns, because Uprising is now set up to try to stop the attack when it will eventually occur. So they're just hoping maybe they can get a gunfight win here, or Uprising's going to move in the lane. Alec Holland has had enough of it, though. He's now improved his position. He's up at that 40-yard line, up in the middle. And it looks like we're going to get, or Nate's going to get some help. So Alec goes up in the middle. D1 goes all the way back to back center. Leverage moves out to the back corner bunker on the snake side. And then they also get out of the back center.
Yeah.
So the plays are starting to develop.
Yeah, I don't like those moves by Uprising really at all. With Baskin already in the Dorito 3, I think Alec Holland puts himself in a difficult position. They give up the Dorito 1, which is decent inside. Leverage can take the snake quickly, launches down the Dorito side. They trade. Love that if you're Leverage. 4-on-3 advantage now for Leverage. They have total dominance on the snake side. It's 3-on-1 on the snake side.
But here comes Graham Arnold pushing up into D3. And so he does.
Oof.
Oh, and then
bad death by Alfred De Los Santos right there.
De Los Santos just runs out into a gun, and they drop another body over here on the snake side. So now it's a 2-on-2 situation. but because Nate Trader also taking the walk. Better field position here with that D side blown open. Big commitment all the way to the 50 brick here, snake side for leverage. And he's going to get taken out. So low body situation looking pretty good right now. Turned into a high body situation, and they're going to capitalize on this 2-on-1. So it was a 4-on-5 in favor of leverage, and they just could not find a way. A little bit more creativity out here. So Holland goes up there kind of forcing some moves from leverage. And they lost a couple gunfights, though. That was kind of the difference.
So the issue was it was a 4-on-3. They have total dominance on the snake side. It's a 3-on-1, but it's just Alfred De Los Santos on the Doritos side. He steps out wide to try to get a shot on someone on Uprising, dies. That blows. He was on an island over there. That was the island drill. When Alfred dies, Uprising owns that side. They come launching, and then leverage is just too late picking it up.
Well, if Uprising can put another couple more points on the board, go 2-1. They were 1-1 even on the point spread yesterday, with a 1-point loss and a 1-point win. Their next game's against Infamous.
Win and you're in.
Well, win here and you got a chance.
Right.
Then go and win and you're in for sure.
Yep.
As long as they don't get blown out by Infamous, they should still be okay.
Arsenal up 5-0. They give Archie Barnes a spin. He gets shot off the break. 4-on-5 advantage for NYX here as they get Nico Acevedo in the snake. No one in front of him. Wrapping on Elliot Weaver in the tower. Elliot's inside, Dorito away, so Nico feeling no pressure to come forward on the snake side. He's on the wrap. I'm not even sure Arsenal knows he's there. Just Cody Mikowski looking snake way for him. The way his body language is, I think he thinks they're short on the snake side. Nico wraps and connects on him. Nico Acevedo having a point. It's a 5-on-3 for NYX. Down 5.
Well, dip it into the 50 here in the snake with no one looking at you. That's a perfect situation. Harris Hussein rumbling up the middle of the field. Nobody's come off from that attack, though.
Man, Omar doesn't want to give up anything over here. He really put it on Harris right there, made sure he had some extra. He's sucked into that South Electronics. Oh, they kill another now, so it's a 2-on-3 situation. Ugly play right there by Jackson Blue coming into the 50 with Nico Acevedo. Sean Saucedo in the Dorito one knows with that bounce shot with two bodies there. He connects on one. 2-on-3 situation. NYX's advantage, but only 3 minutes left with a 5-point lead.
And this is great for Arsenal. They're fine with this, even if they give it this point. Yeah, they love the Mercy Rule win, just as the statement.
But what was huge is they lost a lot of bodies in a row, but then they were able to sort of suck in and keep NYX from winning a really fast one. Just the way this point is developing now, they're killing time off the clock in a 2-on-3. They'll probably bring this clock down to 2 minutes, if not under that, for Arsenal. Looking really good, securing some sort of high-point victory against NYX.
Yeah, these last two bodies here just tucked in their spots. Amara playing well in that back center. He was in a D1.
Sean Saucedo in Dorito 1. Oh, Amara comes off the field. So does Saucedo, though. So Nico Acevedo, good point for him. Second year in pro. Makes it into the snake undetected. Kills Cody Mikowski. Comes into the 50. Gets a couple more kills. Good job, Nico. It's not going to be enough probably for NYX, barring some craziness. Down 4 with just 2 minutes and 22 seconds left.
Not with how things have been going. It is good to see them not get frustrated. Obviously, they're frustrated, but to go out there and not just roll over and give them that Mercy Roll win because it's like, oh, we're already out of this. Because we got a whole season here. It's 5 events in the 2025 season. This team was essentially just formed. Yeah, some of these guys have had time behind the gun with each other. But I do think that Nico's got a bright future in front of him. He had some good looks last year on a team that did not perform all that well as far as overall standings are concerned. He's got some talent. He's got some skill. Just needs to get more time behind the gun with this same crew.
Yeah, and everything matters out here, right? Trying to get out of that Tier 5 position is big for these bottom teams. 5-on-4 and 4-on-4 off the break.
Yeah, so both teams risking it out to the D2 position off break. Both those guys taking the walk.
And Meterman as well coming off for Uprising, so 4-on-3 for leverage. Down 2, coming down on 2 minutes left. You got to try to win this in the next 90 seconds to put yourself in a great position to tie.
Yeah, leverage with the one-body advantage. Might be squandering that, though. Referee coming in, check out the Aztec on the D side. He's clean. They spread the field with Caputo as he gets in nicely to back corner bunker on the snake side.
Caputo played this snake very well at practice, very dynamic, coming forward and connecting on shots. But he gets shot there trying to crawl forward, forcing it a little too much against Uprising 3-on-3 situation now. Uprising has managed to even up the bodies again. Maddie, like we've been talking about, Leverage squandering 2 high body situations in this match and find themselves down 2.
Well, they are trying. They're in their bunkers. They're trying to get creative. They're trying to figure out a way to move up the field. They're just facing a wall of paint. Uprising dug in like ticks, just throwing a ton of pressure downfield here on Leverage, who is scurrying to different spots. And now another body out here on the snake side.
Yeah, that's DeVivo working his way into the snake over here for Leverage. Good player. He's been playing the Hertz Tower. He's been defending against this all tournament long. But now Nate Schroeder getting out wide for, oh, nice job connecting on his first shot. DeVivo, really nice job to give Leverage another advantage. 3-on-2, Alfred De Los Santos in the 50 Dorito.
Yeah, they're just running out of time. Almost down to a minute here. Need to finish this one with ideally a next 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds is about what you have here. Alfred De Los Santos coming up. They're going to kill the back center. They're going to kill that should be a penalty. It is. So now Uprising, terrible penalty right there. Going to catch a minor on the last body. So they're going to start with 4 with 50 seconds left.
Yeah.
Leverage is right back in this.
And Arnold knew it. He went eyes to the sky in frustration once he saw that yellow flag go in the air, because it really does open the door here for Leverage. They're only going to be down 1. Looks like Uprising probably starting down a body.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The flag came up. They did not have a body to pull. Graham Arnold gets shot in the face and wants to keep his stream up in a 1-on-3. Well, like, it's just a bad decision there, and it could cost his team the lead.
There's just not a ton of time. They're going to have
50 seconds.
No, for sure. It's you don't have to get too crazy with the staggered attack in that situation.
Right.
Yeah, and again, Graham knew that. That's why you can see it on his body language. The second that he saw that flag, just eye roll, head to the air. In the pits right now with Leverage.
And now they're just trying to find out, are they going to start with 4? They will. So Leverage is going to have a body advantage off the break, down 1 with 50 seconds left.
So I'm getting some information from the booth. Uprising may start with 3.
Oh my goodness.
Being reviewed here currently by our commissioner, who had a morning full of nothing but reviews yesterday, and going to get our first one today. Big challenge here for Xtreme. 222, down by 4. Going to have to run into the breach. No choice.
Cody Mikowski dies off the break, though. So 5-on-4 advantage for NYX. Down 4, just 2 minutes left. Playing for margin here.
Yeah.
Trying to work their way out of the Tier 5 position. It's very difficult to make it out of a bracket when you're the bottom team. Harris coming forward, seeing that center attack for NYX. That was potent for him yesterday. But Harris dies out of his spot.
Yeah, their margin's going to be rough regardless. They lost by a decent amount yesterday. I'd have to count them up here in a second, but they need to play the long game here. You're in game 3. You're down 4. There's a minute and 30 seconds left. You got one more. To get out of that Tier 5, they need to show up against Houston Heat and beat Heat.
Yeah, that's correct.
To be realistic.
Yeah, that's the real deal, Maddie. This game's out of hand, but if you can get a little momentum here to bring into that Heat game, have some silver linings in this Arsenal beatdown. If you're Arsenal, you feel really good about coming out of this with a 4 or 5 point victory and giving yourself a chance playing Ironman in the grudge match between Steven O'Mara and his longtime and now ex-partner in crime, Henry Sense of the Los Angeles Ironman.
Arsenal looking like they want to try to steal another point if they can. They're moving their way up the field. Got Benny Carroll trying to get creative up that middle. Ooh, almost catches one. Able to launch his body back into that position, though, and stay alive. They move up into D2.
Yeah, that's Kyle Bowen over there.
Yeah.
He's solidified his role. Oh, nice. Oh, no, he does not catch Will Hennessy coming forward.
Well, Benny Carroll taking the walk from that center position. Kyle Bowen's going to probably gunfight a little bit too much out of that spot.
O'Mara might catch these guys coming forward, though. No, Hennessy able to come. Oh, no. O'Mara shot him, so O'Mara again being the thorn in the side of NYX.
But here comes Nico Acevedo. They go ring around the spot, back and forth. Minor penalty going to be assessed. O'Mara still untouched as he comes through, dices up Nico, even though he's already dead. Couple extra. O'Mara pushing aggressively into the backfield as actually it looks like they stole the point on the other side.
They did. There was a minor penalty on Kalea on the snake side. I'm not sure if the refs were able to find their body. They might have been able to absorb the minor penalty. NYX and Peterson sprints to the buzzer, hits it. O'Mara talking trash to the NYX pit. Harris telling him to get off the field. Point is approved, so it's going to be 5-2 NYX, 5-2 Arsenal lead with just 12 seconds left. So NYX cutting the lead to 3. It's not going to matter in the final score.
Good job by Peterson, though.
Yeah.
Again, that's why we call it the scramble, as when the chaos sets in, who's going to adjust the quickest based on the enemies in front of him. Peterson stealing the point from that D side, though O'Mara making some moves of his own and almost got it himself, but Peterson beat him to the buzzer.
O'Mara's playing great out here. He's playing really determined paintball in the pit with Arsenal. Gonna take a 3-point victory.
So let's get a look here at O'Mara as running and gunning, shooting towards that D side.
Oh. Crushed him in the face right there.
I'm positive the Mar didn't care about that.
Yeah. Maybe an accident. I don't think so. Keep it together, says Kyle Bowen. Always with a great attitude in the pit there.
Yeah.
O'Mara saying that's effing BS.
Wow, O'Mara rocking the pirate goatee here
Yeah,
for
I know.
the season. So it looks like Uprising is going to start with 4 based on that Graham Arnold penalty. So it was confirmed to be a minor penalty. Yeah, if I was O'Mara, I'd also be telling those guys, hey, can we stay alive when we have giant leads?
Yeah.
I mean, Bowen was 2-3 feet off that D2 position. He could have been tucked into that spot, staying alive.
Yeah, and if you're Arsenal, you can't get derailed by ref calls that point in the match. Let's stay focused. Let's keep the ball rolling downhill. Now leverage down 1, 5-on-4 off the break. 50 seconds to tie here. Golden opportunity if you're leverage. Let's see if the rookies can take advantage.
They got a power play right now but Uprising going to even up the count off the break and shooting the body, attacking up to the Hertz tower, but here comes a flood of bodies up the middle, and on that D side here from Leverage, they're going to take D2 and D1 and try to get a body into the snake, and he makes it clean. So Uprising giving up some of these positions, trying to hold the line. They're going to be losing Schrader as he dives into the snake. Might be losing Borromeo as well, too. He gets pinched out of the tower. I think we're going to have a tie game here as the attack brutally up the middle of the field. 2 more bodies drop and diving up and over. Full send here for Leverage.
Had about
See if he's clean. The referee's going to come check him. He just dove into about 150 paintballs that are on the other side of that bunker.
Ricky Moran hitting the buzzer.
Point is good.
Pretty nimble over the start gate as he slams it. He had about 17 seconds. Didn't need the full send, but I think the guys are jacked up that they just tied it against Uprising. Man, nice job there. They lost a body off the break, but they developed their Dorito side attack. Ricky Moran launched from the back center into the snake and then instantly connected.
Well, look at this replay here as Moran just full send. Little extra buzzer hit with his left thigh.
Goodness.
Got to tuck that shoulder in. Does it perfectly here on the barrel roll in. But again, dove into about 150 paintballs right there. You could see then some broke on his pack, but the referee's giving him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Still beautiful look, like the full send. Very entertaining. Good job, Ricky.
That's why we make these guys wear chin straps nowadays. Might have lost his mask without one.
Yeah, but, oh man, well, we'll talk about it in a second. Just 12 seconds left to go in this one here. Still a pretty sizable lead for Baltimore Arsenal. Don't think we're going to see another point.
Yeah, Arsenal going to leave this with a 5-2, 3-point victory right here. Back on track, going to move them to 1 and 2. They're going to have a chance, depending on how margin works out. They will need to beat the Ironman. If they can manage that, the point spread will be positive.
Yeah, so it was even yesterday, 1 and 1, even on the point spread. So it's going to be a +3. So obviously, if they beat the Ironman in no problem, potentially even getting the bye, not having to play in that wild card round, depending on how things shake out. But the situation is because they did squander those last couple points. If they get blown out by the Ironman, that's going to put them in negative.
Well, they're 1 and 3, then they got no shot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it's winning you're in, losing you're out, basically. Don't have to worry about too much margin math there. Arsenal giving themselves a chance with this victory over NYX.
Yeah, well, because even if they lose, they're right.
Yeah,
it's win no matter what.
Yeah.
But so with this specific one, man, Leverage decided to play the aggressors, even though they were down a body, and then Uprising went hardcore defense, not willing to make any moves forward, and it cost them.
Yeah.
Really tried to sit on that lead with a minute left. They got the even up the count immediately, and then no one was intent on making any moves. They let Leverage take some positions, and then they tried to make moves and got shot trying to get into their spots.
Just 17 seconds here. Uprising going to lose a body, but neither team is going for it. We're going to see an overtime point here between Leverage and Uprising. Leverage, rookies and pro, going to take 2 teams to overtime. These guys are no slouches. They're proving it out here that they can hang. They might not win this match, but they can hang, Leverage. We're seeing it.
Well, and when you have close games against teams that have been around for a long time, teams like Aftershock yesterday that went to the finals last year and have gotten better in the offseason, that should tell them, hey, we're close. Maybe we should put a little more time into training.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, the weather's starting to turn in the Northeast. It actually gets to be pleasant at those fields instead of being freezing cold and snow blowing and all those things. So, yeah, look for Leverage to build on this rookie performance. I know they're not going to be satisfied. Bunch of hard-charging tri-state area guys with a lot of vowels in their names. Domenico, DeVivo, De Los Santos, Alfred on your screen. He's been around forever. Guy's a great dude and a great paintball player. Chris Fermo, head coach over there, longtime teammate. Those guys go back to Long Island Fight Team back in the day. Chris Caputo, another standout player, hasn't played all that much in this match, hasn't played particularly well. Ricky Moran has played great for them.
Yeah, and just
Baskin.
Tons of respect for that squad, earning their pro spot the hard way. It is hard down there in the semi-pro division.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people that want to get that pro spot. I mean, I don't know how many teams they're going to have this year, but
New York Wrecking
like
Crew.
30 semi-pro teams last year.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good sign of the health of paintball when the semi-pro division is big, right? It means there's a lot of high-level players. There's a big pool down there. There's a lot of former pros down there now. That's a tough division.
Yeah, we'll see here in 2025 who's going to step up, seeing as how, you know, Royal City Sea Dogs moving up, Leverage moving up. A couple semi-pro guys got picked up on other squads. It's the natural process.
Yeah, you can always try to buy a spot off an owner, too, if you want to get a little
It is an option.
Yeah.
Why not? You got the money to do it.
Overtime point. Seattle Uprising Leverage. 5-on-5 breakout. Mark Niederman going to try to cut across. Got caught the first time in the match doing it, but he gets in there alive.
So crucial here for Uprising to get their first attacker mark into the snake, but they are going to be dropping a body. Oh, that's a tough death there out of that Aztec.
Oh my goodness, Meterman bounced DeVivo in the back center, but then had to swab his barrel. That's gonna give DeVivo a chance to get out. Jeez Louise, 5-on-4 advantage for Leverage, but Uprising in the snake. Leverage has got to get out of the backfield here, or Meterman's gonna eat them up.
Yeah, Meterman's putting himself in a position to really start putting the pinch on those players tucked in the pocket. They're still doubling up that back center. Just using his gun as a bunker, essentially shooting right-handed out of that spot. He should be shooting left-handed, but he's just pumping paint into that zone here on Mark, and then Mark's going to get a little bit of help, and this Nate Trader's going to get behind him, really start putting the pinch on those players. Leverage is in tough positions right now here.
Yeah, even though Uprising lost their body, they just are developing forward. If Leverage can't find a way out of this back center, the way they're playing it right now,
well, we just got to look at the D side here on our screen, but then finally the pinch is going to work. A desperation run outside wide makes it clean here for Leverage. Baskin putting some pressure on that D side, which is slowing the attack down there. The snake side is all Uprisings right now.
I think Ricky Moran needed to look at his back center player and make that move earlier to give him a spot to get out of that back center. Instead, they lose another, but they got Travis Baskin making moves up the Dorito side for Leverage. He's got this player in front of him for Uprising. So 4-on-4 situation.
Yeah, Baskin surviving and being a threat on that D side has allowed them a tiny bit of breathing room to at least get run up into this snake.
Oh, Ricky Moran comes through and trades with Meterman, so now it's a 3-on-3 situation.
Yeah, even trade on that situation, but still better field position here because Nate Trader is in the snake for Uprising. So advantage Uprising still as long as he can stay alive, but tough death here for Nate in this overtime period. But here comes the attack as Graham Arnold's going to drop the hammer on that D side. Here comes the counterattack, and he gets stitched up. Looks like Graham Arnold is still alive, and he's getting the crossfield kill. And that is going to do it. Beautiful job by Graham Arnold to save the day here for Uprising, backed up by Alec Holland, the consummate survivor. Again, he's basically the Marcelo Margot of Uprising. Graham Arnold, the veteran, wins this game for Uprising. It was looking super sketch on the snake side with Mark getting run down and then Nate dying out of that spot. Counterattack started to be pushed by Leverage.
Yeah, great job by Graham Arnold, too. He caught that minor penalty that really put them in a tough spot in that 50-second point that allowed Leverage to tie. But here in a 2-on-2 in overtime, runs down Baskin, kills Alfred, debunks him as Alfred tries to come get him, and then puts the finishing touch on Sanborn. It's a nice 3-pack by Graham Arnold in overtime.
That's paintball.
Yep.
You know, you get the penalty that crushes your team's hope in one point, and then you go out and save the team in the very next point.
That's right.
Great job by Graham Arnold, veteran on that squad. So Uprising still in the fight here at the 2025 Tampa Bay Open. They're 2-1. Next up is going to be Aftermath and Infamous, and Dynasty and the Ironman. Classic paintball rivalry in both those games in that next set. I'm Matty Marshall here, Mike Jeffrey. Stick around. We'll be right back.